Picture this. You walk into a room, confident, calm, not trying too hard, not saying a word, and yet eyes start turning. You didn't force it. You didn't chase it. You simply were. Most men don't realize that women notice energy before words, presence before personality. It's not the flash, the car, or the money that first pulls her in. It's the type of man she senses you are. And in today's dating world, where everyone's trying to look like something they're not, women have become more instinctual than ever. They scan, they test, and they judge fast. Within seconds, she already knows if you're the kind of man she can respect or just another guy to play with. You see, attraction isn't random. It's psychology. Women are drawn to certain types of men whose behavior, energy, and mindset hit something deep inside them. You can call it primal, subconscious, whatever, but it's real. And if you don't understand what type you project, you'll keep attracting the wrong kind of woman, or worse, be invisible to the right one. That's what this video is about. Decoding the types women naturally prefer and helping you understand which one you truly are. Because once you know, everything changes. You stop chasing validation. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop trying to impress her. Instead, you start being that man, the one whose silence says more than another man's speech. You begin to understand how women respond to certain archetypes. The leader, the mystery, the protector, the challenger, and as we go through each section, you'll see exactly how these types trigger attraction on a psychological level. So stay with me till the end, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly how women categorize you and how to become the kind of man they can't forget. Let's dive in. 1. The calm power that draws her. Confidence is the foundation of male attraction, not the loud, overcompensating kind that tries to prove something, but the quiet, grounded confidence that doesn't need to. Women can sense it long before a word leaves your mouth. It's in the way you stand, the calmness in your voice, the relaxed control of your movements. This type of man doesn't need to be the center of attention. He naturally becomes it. Why? Because he's centered. He knows who he is, what he wants, and what he won't tolerate. A confident man doesn't chase approval. He gives direction. He's not easily swayed by opinions, trends, or emotional manipulation. When a woman meets this kind of man, her instinct kicks in. She feels safe and curious at the same time. Safe because his energy feels solid. Curious because she knows she can't easily shake him. That balance, security mixed with challenge, is exactly what awakens her feminine side. In modern dating, confidence isn't about dominance or control, it's about presence. Most men try to buy attraction through effort, compliments, gifts, constant texting, over-explaining, but women don't fall for effort, they fall for energy. The confident man understands this. He's not afraid of silence, he doesn't fill every moment with words. He knows his value, so he never rushes to prove it. When he enters a conversation, he brings calm certainty, not desperate enthusiasm. Psychologically, women read this as emotional stability. It signals strength, leadership, and reliability, traits hardwired into attraction. A woman might not even be aware of it, but when she feels drawn to a man for no reason, it's usually because of this internal steadiness. His calm presence tells her, "You can trust me. I'm not going to fall apart under pressure." But here's where many men go wrong. They fake confidence. They confuse arrogance with power. They talk too much, brag too loud, and posture too hard. A woman can see through that immediately. Real confidence isn't displayed. It's felt. It's in how you react when something doesn't go your way, how you handle rejection, how you walk away without resentment when something isn't serving you. That's when she truly sees your worth. Every man has moments where he doubts himself. The difference between the confident man and the uncertain one is how they deal with those moments. The confident man still feels fear, still feels nervous, but he acts anyway. He doesn't let fear make his decisions. That ability to stay composed under pressure is one of the strongest psychological triggers for attraction. So if you want to become this type, stop focusing on how to impress women. Focus on becoming grounded. Learn to stay still when you feel insecure. Let your silence speak. Speak less. Observe more, and carry yourself like a man who doesn't need to be chosen, because he already chooses himself. The confident man doesn't need to announce who he is. The world and every woman in it eventually figures it out. 2. The Enigma. She can't stop thinking about. There's a reason some men capture a woman's attention without saying much. It's not about being distant or cold. It's about being unpredictable in a world where everyone overshares. The mysterious man carries an aura that keeps her guessing. He doesn't hand her the full story at once, and that unpredictability becomes magnetic. Every woman has an instinctive attraction to mystery because it challenges her curiosity and imagination. She doesn't just want to know you, she wants to figure you out, and that's what keeps her invested. The mysterious man doesn't explain every thought. He lets silence do half the talking. When she asks questions, he answers just enough to spark her interest, but never enough to satisfy it completely. This leaves her wondering what else is behind that calm stare, what kind of experiences shaped him, what stories he's not telling. That's how he creates emotional gravity, by being present but never fully predictable. In modern dating, where everyone posts every detail of their lives, mystery has become rare. Most men reveal too much too soon. They unload their emotions, goals, and intentions before she even feels attraction. But the mysterious man knows better. He understands that pacing is power. He doesn't rush the connection. He allows her imagination to do the work. The less he reveals, the more she wonders. The more she wonders, the more emotionally invested she becomes. Psychologically, mystery creates a dopamine loop in her brain. Every time she gets a piece of information about you, her mind releases a little pleasure, but it also triggers craving for more. That's why she keeps thinking about you after the date, scrolling through your messages, replaying your words. You've become a mental puzzle, and her mind can't rest until it's solved. The truth is, most women lose interest not because the man is boring, but because he's too easy to figure out. Now, being mysterious doesn't mean playing games or acting uninterested. It means having depth. It means living a life so full that she's not the center of it. When your focus is on your goals, your work, your mission, and your own growth, you naturally become mysterious because you have something bigger than her attention to chase. You don't need to hide. Your priorities naturally create distance and respect. That's what she finds irresistible. The mysterious man also uses unpredictability wisely. He might text her one day and then disappear for two, not out of manipulation, but because he's genuinely occupied. When he does speak, it's meaningful. When he gives compliments, they carry weight because they're rare. When he opens up emotionally, it feels special because it's earned. Everything he does has intention, and that makes every interaction feel valuable. Women remember how a man makes them feel. Mystery keeps those feelings alive long after the conversation ends. It keeps her anticipation burning. She'll find herself wondering where he is, what he's doing, and whether he's thinking of her. That's how the mysterious man wins, not through constant attention, but through scarcity and depth. So if you want to embody this type, stop oversharing. Leave room for imagination. Be the man whose actions reveal more than his words. Let her earn access to your world, because when a woman feels like she has to discover you, she'll keep coming back until she does. 3. The presence that commands respect. There's a difference between being aggressive and being dominant. One comes from insecurity, the other from control. The dominant man doesn't need to raise his voice or flex his muscles to be felt. His authority is in his energy. Women respond to that energy instinctively. It's the steady leadership that says, "I've got this," without having to explain. In a world full of indecision and confusion, dominance is clarity, and clarity is rare. That's what makes it attractive. When a dominant man walks into a room, he doesn't compete for attention. The environment adapts to him. His tone is calm, his movements deliberate, his eyes focused. He's not distracted, and that control creates tension. Women feel that. They sense that this man isn't looking for permission. He takes initiative, and he expects others to keep up. That's the energy that makes her body lean in without realizing it. It's not fear, it's fascination. Her instincts recognize leadership, and leadership is one of the oldest triggers of attraction. Dominance in the healthy sense isn't about control over others. It's control over yourself. It's emotional discipline, decisiveness, and the ability to guide without force. A dominant man doesn't ask, "What do you want to do?" every time. He decides, he plans, he leads. He knows that uncertainty kills attraction and confidence creates it. That's why when he says, "We're doing this," she feels both relief and excitement. Deep down, most women crave direction, not domination. They want to feel like they can relax around a man who knows what he's doing. Psychologically, dominance signals security. It tells her that you're capable of handling pressure, that you won't crumble when things get hard. That emotional control makes her trust you more, even if she doesn't say it. She might test you, question your choices, or push your limits, but that's only to confirm that your dominance is real, not performed. The moment you fold, she loses respect. The moment you stand firm with calm certainty, she feels drawn in deeper. Too many men confuse dominance with aggression. They think barking orders or acting cold makes them powerful. It doesn't. That's weakness in disguise. Real dominance is quiet and consistent. It's shown in patience, in confidence under stress, in your ability to make a decision and stand by it. When you can remain grounded while she's emotional, you become her stability. That's dominance in its purest form. To become this type, start by leading yourself. Wake up early. Set goals. Keep promises to yourself first. Stop being reactive to women's moods, messages, or behavior. The dominant man never chases energy. He directs it. He decides where the interaction goes, when it ends, and how deep it gets. And when she realizes you can't be emotionally manipulated, she begins to respect you at a level that most men will never experience. When a woman feels your dominance, she doesn't just see a man, she feels protection, confidence, and strength. That's what makes her follow your lead naturally. And once she trusts your leadership, attraction isn't something you have to build. It happens on its own. 4. The man who refuses to be tamed. Every woman is intrigued by the man who doesn't bend easily, the one who challenges her, who calls her out respectfully, and who refuses to let charm or beauty dictate his boundaries. The challenger doesn't follow the script most men do. He doesn't say yes to everything just to keep her happy. He doesn't tolerate disrespect in the name of attraction. He's not rude, but he's firm. And because of that, women remember him. He's not easy to win over, and that's exactly why he stands out. In modern dating, men are taught to please, be nice, be understanding, agree with everything she says. But when you agree with everything, you become nothing. A woman doesn't crave another fan. She craves a man who can stand toe to toe with her. The challenger brings tension into the dynamic, the kind that awakens her feminine instinct to test, flirt, and chase. He doesn't do this for control. He does it because he values himself too much to settle for one-sided effort. And that energy, that self-respect is electric. The challenger listens, but he's not afraid to disagree. He'll tell her when she's wrong, but he does it calmly, not emotionally. That balance between assertiveness and restraint is what hooks her. She can't push him into submission, and she can't manipulate him with guilt or praise. His validation comes from within, not from her approval. That's what makes him so rare. Psychologically, this triggers a deep curiosity in women because most men fold the moment they feel tension, but the challenger thrives in it. When a woman realizes she can't fully control you, she feels both frustrated and fascinated. That paradox fuels attraction. She'll test your patience, challenge your words, maybe even pull away to see if you'll chase, but you won't. You'll stay composed. That's when she begins to respect you on a deeper level, even if she doesn't admit it. Because deep down, she knows this kind of man doesn't belong to anyone. He chooses. The challenger lives by his own standards. He's selective about where he gives his energy. He's not desperate for attention because he's already fulfilled. His life is busy with purpose, and any woman who enters it has to bring value, not drama. When he sets boundaries, he sticks to them. If she crosses a line, he addresses it once and moves on. No arguing, no chasing, just clarity. That's power, and women feel it immediately. This type of man triggers a primal part of a woman's psychology, the desire to earn his attention. She can't buy it or manipulate it. She has to deserve it, and that's what keeps her hooked. The challenger reminds her that attraction isn't about comfort. It's about excitement, curiosity, and the thrill of meeting someone she can't fully predict. To become this man, you must master emotional detachment. Stop fearing her reactions. Speak truthfully. Enforce your standards with calm conviction. And when she realizes you won't compromise your identity just to please her, she'll stop testing you and start respecting you. The challenger doesn't play games. He plays life at his own pace. And the woman who can keep up with him, she knows she's dealing with a man of value. 5. The strength that makes her feel safe. A woman may be drawn to confidence, mystery, and dominance, but what truly keeps her close is the feeling of safety. The protector is the man whose presence quiets her anxiety. He doesn't have to say, "I'll take care of you." She simply feels it when she's around him. It's not about rescuing her or controlling her. It's about creating a space where she can let her guard down without fear of judgment or rejection. That's a rare energy in today's world. And when a woman finds it, she holds on. The protector understands responsibility. He doesn't run from problems, he solves them. He stays calm when others panic. His voice has weight because his actions back it up. When he makes a promise, he follows through. That consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of emotional attraction. Most women are surrounded by men who talk big but deliver little. The protector, on the other hand, delivers quietly. He's the man she can rely on when life gets heavy. Psychologically, this type activates a deep feminine instinct. A woman's attraction is tied to safety, the sense that her emotions, body, and vulnerabilities are respected and secure. That doesn't mean she wants a savior. It means she wants a man strong enough to protect her peace, not just her body. The protector understands that her emotions aren't something to fix. They're something to guide through patience and presence. He listens without judgment, and when he speaks, it's with intention. He doesn't panic when she's emotional. He stays grounded. That calm stability is what earns her loyalty. But here's what separates the protector from the nice guy. The nice guy seeks approval through caretaking. The protector gives care through strength. He doesn't sacrifice his self-respect to make her feel good. He sets limits. He helps without losing himself. That's what makes his protection powerful, because it's balanced with self-control. Women feel the difference immediately. The nice guy gives to be liked. The protector gives because he's solid enough to share his strength. Every action of the protector communicates something deeper. How he handles stress, how he treats others, how he stands up for what's right, even when no one's watching. These moments define him, and the more she witnesses that integrity, the more she feels drawn to him, not just emotionally, but biologically. Because deep inside, every woman wants to feel safe in her softness, and only a strong man can make that possible. To become this type, work on reliability, keep your word, build discipline, protect your peace first so you can protect others from a place of strength. Women respect men who have control over their emotions, finances, and decisions. Those are the signals that say, I'm dependable. The protector doesn't just offer comfort, he offers security, not by making promises, but by living them. And when a woman feels that kind of stability in you, she won't just be attracted, she'll feel at home. 6. The man with purpose and direction. Every woman feels drawn to a man with a mission. Not a dreamer who only talks, but a man who's walking a path so clear that she can sense his purpose before he even explains it. That's the visionary, the man who lives for something beyond attention, validation, or approval. He's focused, he's disciplined, he has goals that give his life structure and meaning. And when a woman meets this type, she instantly feels his difference. His life doesn't revolve around her, it revolves around his purpose, and that's what makes her want to be part of it. Women are emotional creatures, but they are also intuitive. They can feel when a man is drifting versus when a man is driven. The visionary doesn't waste energy chasing temporary pleasure. He invests in progress. Whether it's his career, his craft, or his growth, everything he does points toward a future he's building. That focus creates gravity. Women are drawn to that energy because it symbolizes safety, direction, and ambition, the very things that make her want to follow your lead. Psychologically, a man with a strong sense of purpose triggers admiration. He activates her instinct to align herself with a man who knows where he's going, not because she wants to use him, but because that purpose gives her something to believe in. When she senses that you're not just existing, you're building, she starts seeing you differently. You're no longer just another man trying to get her attention. You're a man she could respect, support, and grow with. The visionary doesn't waste time proving himself. He lets his consistency speak. He's busy becoming the man he envisions, not talking about it. When he sets a goal, he pursues it relentlessly, but with balance. He doesn't neglect himself or the people who matter. He simply prioritizes what drives him. That's why his energy feels grounded and directional at the same time. Women feel that energy. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. This type of man doesn't get distracted by temporary attraction. He knows that his purpose will attract the right kind of woman naturally, the kind who's inspired, not entitled. When he speaks about his plans, his eyes light up. When he fails, he doesn't fold. He learns, adjusts, and keeps going. That resilience is irresistible because in a world full of men who complain, the visionary keeps moving forward. To become this type, find your why. What wakes you up in the morning? What gives your life meaning beyond validation or sex? When your goals become your center, you'll notice a shift. Women start responding differently. They become more cooperative, more feminine, more curious. Why? Because you've given them something real to respect. The visionary doesn't seek followers. He inspires them. He doesn't chase relationships. He attracts them. And the woman who meets this kind of man knows she's not just dating, she's aligning with destiny. 7. The value that comes from rarity. There's a strange truth in modern dating. Women chase the man they can't fully have. It's not manipulation, it's human psychology. The unavailable man carries an aura that says, "My time is precious." He's not cold, but he's not always there. His attention is earned, not handed out. And that scarcity creates value, because when something isn't easily accessible, it becomes desirable. Women sense that immediately. They know that to keep this man's attention, they have to show up as their best selves. The unavailable man isn't emotionally numb or distant. He's simply focused. He has priorities, his career, his goals, his discipline, and he doesn't abandon them for anyone. That doesn't make him selfish. It makes him centered. He doesn't text all day or chase constant communication. When he does reach out, his words mean something. He gives her space to miss him, to wonder what he's doing, to think about him when he's not around. That absence builds anticipation, and anticipation fuels attraction. Psychologically, women interpret availability as abundance. When a man's time and attention are too easy to get, it loses meaning. But when she has to wait, when she has to earn his focus, it activates her pursuit instinct. Suddenly she's investing emotionally. She's wondering if she's doing enough, if she's special enough to hold his interest. And that's exactly where the unavailable man stands out. He makes her work for connection, and that effort deepens her attachment. Now, this isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining a life that's genuinely full. The unavailable man doesn't disappear to create mystery. He disappears because he's busy building. He's pursuing his goals, maintaining his standards, and refusing to be consumed by relationships. That's what makes him so appealing. He's not a man who waits by the phone. He's a man who lives with purpose, and that energy makes him unforgettable. The key to being this type is balance. Too much distance, and you seem uninterested. Too much presence, and you lose value. The unavailable man knows how to stay in the middle, engaged, but never dependent. When he gives attention, it feels earned. When he shows affection, it feels special. That's why women feel a deeper connection to him even when they see him less. He's not giving her consistency. He's giving her impact. In a world where men overshare, overgive, and overchase, the unavailable man stands apart. He understands that attraction grows in space, not saturation. His silence has meaning, his time has value, and his life has direction. And because of that, women never truly feel like they have him completely. And that's exactly why they never stop wanting him. To become this type, stop being overly accessible. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't reply instantly. Keep your focus on the things that make you better. Your goals, your health, your discipline. The right woman will adapt to your pace because she'll recognize your worth. Remember, the most desired man isn't the one who's always available. It's the one who's always improving. Attraction isn't luck, it's alignment. Every man falls somewhere within these types: the confident, the mysterious, the dominant, the challenger, the protector, the visionary, and the unavailable. You might recognize pieces of yourself in more than one, and that's the point. You don't have to become someone else. You have to refine what's already there. Women aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to presence, purpose, and power. And when you embody even a few of these qualities, you stop chasing women and start attracting them naturally. The truth is, women have always been wired to respond to strength, not the loud kind, but the kind that feels steady and grounded. They crave men who make them feel safe yet challenged, admired yet uncertain. That balance of tension and trust is what keeps attraction alive. Each of these types represents a side of that polarity. Mystery that pulls her in, dominance that guides her, protection that calms her, vision that inspires her, and scarcity that keeps her chasing. Master that, and you'll never wonder where you stand again. But none of this works if it's fake. Women can feel authenticity the same way they can sense weakness. Don't mimic the surface. Live the substance. Build confidence by earning it. Create mystery by living a life that fulfills you. Lead because it's in your nature, not because it's a tactic. The more you evolve, the more naturally these qualities blend into who you are. That's what makes the difference between temporary attraction and lasting respect. So which type are you? More importantly, which type do you want to be? Start there. Develop that man daily. Because the more you invest in yourself, the more women will invest their interest in you. That's not game. It's psychology. And once you understand it, you stop playing for attention and start commanding it effortlessly.